This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstye Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 6, Episode 13, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington across social media. And I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things Washington sports and life as part of the mighty Hogstye Network on audio and on YouTube here for video. So on YouTube, if you're watching, please like, share, subscribe, and even hit that thanks button at the bottom like a couple of you did lately. So we appreciate that. All right, so we're going to start off with the Commanders' schedule. We're a couple days behind, but Matt and I disagree on the prospects of this season. I'm Sister Sunshine, and he's the mean old grump. So, all right, we just go down it. Well, I'll say this, preseason. I even picked the preseason, Matt.
Oh, I did not.
Opening against Carolina, I've got to win. That old nonsense. Then at Kansas City, lost. At Baltimore, lost.
Yeah, I mean 1 and 2. That seems par for the course.
So I would say that Ron has typically been a slow starter the first 2 years in Washington. Okay, first year was COVID. Nobody had a shot. He had cancer. I mean, okay, we're going to blow that one off. Last year, though, they started slow again. Didn't finish fast either. The middle was pretty good. But, so he's got, to me, Ron doesn't really play his players at all in the preseason. I think he's got to this year. You got to get Wentz up to speed with these guys, although same thing last year, new quarterback, and they didn't. I think you play these guys a lot more and you get them ready because your first 2 games are Jacksonville and Detroit. You start 0-2, the train is heading out of town and you're on it. So I got Jacksonville. I got a win in the opener. How about you?
I actually have them losing to Jacksonville.
Oh, chaos in the streets.
I think Jacksonville may be pretty well improved this year. And I think those 2 games at the end of the year last year for Wentz, specifically the loss to Jacksonville, may come back to haunt him in this. But like you said, it's also Ron doesn't start fast. And I will say that we're not guaranteed that Logan Thomas is going to be available week 1. And we're not 100% confident that Chase will be available for week 1. Those 2 guys may start the season on the PUP. So, and what is Curtis Samuel? Is Curtis Samuel going to start on PUP? Is he going to be ready? We don't know. I think week 1 is very much up in the air. And I think that an improved Jacksonville Jaguars team is going to beat them.
Man, if they lose week 1 at home, the haters are going to hate. I mean, whoa.
I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't go crazy if they lost to Jacksonville. Like I said, Jacksonville spent a lot of money. They improved in a lot of areas. They had a very good draft from what people said. Is Trevor Lawrence going to take that second season step? I mean,
well, they got a real coach now too.
Exactly. They're not, Urban Meyer ain't in that building anymore. The clown show and the tents have popped up and left.
Yeah, it's amazing how college coaches come to the pros and look like clowns. So many of them, not all of them. Pete Carroll's had a great career, but by and large, I've seen a lot of crash and burns from college guys. It's a different world.
Hey, Rick, you watch that Osaka game?
The soccer game, yeah.
No, Osaka.
Oh, Osaka.
Wasn't that one of the things that old Spurrier used to hang his hat on?
Yeah, we used to talk about Osaka. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At Detroit. I got 2-0 here.
I got to win. Detroit is still Detroit.
All right. I mean, yeah. Philadelphia then. They're at they're at home on Philadelphia. So I have a 3-0.
I have a win here too. I think Wentz against the Eagles at Fed Up Field, I think he kind of gets his revenge or whatever you want to call it.
And I've always said Philadelphia is the weirdest games of the year. And look at last year, COVID thing hit. They didn't have all their players like that. I think that really cost them the playoffs in the end, that weird thing, and they had to go to Tuesday. Philly is always a weird game. So I don't expect them. They probably shouldn't win that one, but I bet they will. So 3-0. Then at Dallas, I've got a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss.
All right, so I got them 3-1. You got them 2-2. All right, then they're going to play Tennessee. I am losing.
I have them losing as well, but I do believe that they will have a pretty decent chance to win this game. Obviously, Tennessee is, they traded A.J. Brown. They don't have the kid they picked up from Atlanta. He's gone. They cut him. Is Derrick Henry going to be ready? Is he going to be 100% coming off the injury? And, I mean, Ryan Tannehill's Ryan Tannehill, but they have been pretty decent the past couple seasons. So I have them losing, but there is a slim chance of a win there.
All right, at Chicago, and that's a Thursday night game. I have them winning.
I have a win too. I think it's going to take Eberflus a couple years or maybe a year to get head coaching under his belt, and they really haven't made too many improvements.
Then you have Green Bay at home. I'm going to say a loss.
That's a L. That's a big fat L.
Yeah.
Although I don't know who Rodgers is throwing the ball to, but that's a big L.
And then they're playing Indianapolis for Carson Wentz's revenge game, and I have them losing.
I have a loss there as well.
All right, so then Minnesota comes, and, Kirk can never win in Washington. So I've got Washington winning that game and now 5-4.
I actually have them losing to the Vikings.
I think it's a toss-up game. It's one of those games.
I do too, and it's not necessarily obviously because of Kirk. I don't see Kirk as a top tier quarterback like most people, but they do have a very explosive offense. They have a very good run game. I do have them losing to the Vikings.
Yeah, Kirk is an empty calories guy to me. Looks good, but in the end, there's nothing there. His record's 500. And,
yeah.
He's got the stats, but that doesn't win games.
A lot of his stuff is at the end of game stat padding. We know that.
Yeah. All right. At Philly, I've got them winning and sweeping Philadelphia this year.
I have them taking a loss. I think in Philly, it might be too much for Wentz.
At Houston, that's the only place I've never been in the NFL, Houston. I have them winning.
Yeah, I have a W there.
All right. We must really change the parts down the end. All right. Atlanta, I've got them losing.
I have a win in Atlanta.
Wow. Sure, you got them only 7 wins. You must have them crashing now. All right.
Let me double check. I'll double check at the end.
Yeah. All right. At New York Giants, I have them winning.
I have them winning both Giants games.
Wow. I don't. Okay. So it's weird. They play the Giants, then they have the bye, which is late, mid-December. I've never seen a bye in mid-December. I mean, at that point, if you're in any kind of decent shape, it's not the worst thing to have a week to freshen up for the final push. If you're destroyed, you go Christmas shopping that weekend and play the last 3 out. It's always injuries, but New York has to play that week that Washington has a bye. So it's not consecutive games for them. So Washington, when they come back from the bye, is playing New York. You think they'd have the advantage. They can scout this last game over and over. I got them losing.
Yeah, I have them winning both Giants games. I don't think the Giants are going to do much this year. I think this is probably also the last year of old Danny Dimes as well.
At San Francisco, I can't tell you how happy I am to have seen the schedule. No Thanksgiving game, no Christmas Day game. I was like, I'm trying to stay married here. So it is Christmas Eve, 4:00, but we'll get it. And I have them losing to San Francisco.
I do too. Although we may see the second year man, we may see the high draft pick instead of Jimmy G. So, I don't know what we're going to do there.
And then Cleveland, I have them winning.
I have them losing to Cleveland.
Yeah. And then Dallas, I have them winning.
I have them losing to Dallas.
Yeah.
So basically I have them, let's see, 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. 2-3. I have them going 3-3. Then I have them on a 4-game losing streak, and then I have them on a 4-game winning streak, and then I have them a 3-game losing streak to end the season to go 7-10, which is pretty much par for the course of what they've done for the past couple seasons. Is they get hot, they win a couple games in a row, and then it kind of tapers off.
Yeah, that was last year. They lost 4, won 4, lost 5.
Mm-hmm.
So really crazy like that. So, and my couple impressions on the schedule were they pretty much alternate home away for almost the whole season, except for a couple roads in the middle and then 2 home games at the end.
And very, very late bye. I think this is one of the latest buys that they've had in the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever had a December bye. It's usually like early November or late October for a lot. But I don't know. For some reason they did it this time. So overall, the schedule, it's rated the easiest along with Dallas, but I wouldn't say it's an easy schedule. I mean, you're still playing Green Bay, Minnesota's a decent team. San Francisco, Cleveland should be at least a decent team. I mean, and you got the division. I don't see it's not a cakewalk. You better come to play.
Yeah, it's definitely not a third place schedule if you really think about it. I mean, but then again, teams that usually finish in third place, they do everything they can to improve their roster. I mean, you look at Cleveland, they went out and made the big splash and got Deshaun Watson. The Jags have had the number 1 overall pick the past couple seasons. So let's see what they can do. Rick, I will say this. I do have a couple of bold predictions if you want to go this way. I do see Jason Wright leaving the team at the end of the year. Now that the name has been gone through and the front office debacle has kind of been cleaned up from what we understand, I do see Jason Wright moving on to bigger and greener things within the NFL, probably at the NFL offices, if I had to guess. I will say this too. If they finish 7-10, Ron Rivera will be fired. His staff will be fired, and they probably will not bring back Carson Wentz so the new coach can pick their quarterback.
Well, the second point, definitely. First one, I don't know. Jason might be more involved in the new stadium.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that part.
I could see that. I mean, they still got to pick the team song. So, they got stuff to do. It's gonna be
I understand. I thought they were just retooling Hail to the Redskins.
Well, I mean, there could be a Hail to the Commanders. That's the more likely thing.
Well, that's the hashtag. For a while there, they were using the Take Command hashtag on Twitter, but it has been changed to HTTC.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
And I did a poll on my Rick Snyder's Washington page on YouTube, and I said, "What do you want? Hail to the Commanders? Or Hail to the Redskins? You don't care about a song at all?" About 50% said play Hail to the Redskins, which they're not going to do. But the tune's going to remain the same, I think, largely in the new song because they like that. We just say Commanders. You won't do any more scalpums, that kind of stuff. But they're getting, they're getting fan input into that, which means free story, free writing of new songs.
Well, and aren't they working on a mascot? I mean, I know they've talked about that. I mean, there are still elements of the new name and the new branding that have yet to be worked out. So maybe Jason may not leave, but I've always had the intention I've always had the thought that Jason was inserted in here as kind of a test run for Roger Goodell in the NFL offices. Obviously he's smart. He's a very smart guy. He's very well educated. And he's got very big dreams. I always felt that he was kind of inserted to clean up the team. And then once that happened, he was going to move on to the NFL offices. But, I could be wrong. I mean, he's the thing I do like about Jason and that why I wish he would stay is he's very interactive with the fans. I always see him on Twitter interacting with people. He not necessarily is upfront, but then again, he doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't know. It's a kind of a breath of fresh air, but at the end of the day, Rick, we both know it all stems from ownership. Whatever happens with ownership, I just, that stink is always going to be on this team if Dan's still around.
I can never remember a team president, and he's not on the football side, but he's still team president. I can't remember one really being interactive with fans or anything because, Bruce Allen, was a joke. Mm-hmm. And then Vinny was a joke. And then Charlie Casserly didn't talk to the public very much. And neither did Bobby Beathard. They were very secretive. George Allen ran everything. He was secretive. So this is the first guy that kind of says, hey, and they do some nice things. Like there's a guy I saw on Twitter that's going in for serious surgery. And it showed a gift box showed up at his door the night before. That's awesome. I can appreciate the stuff like that Jason's doing, which is really great.
Well, and he did with the fans on Twitter where he sent them all boxes with the Commanders Letterman jacket and stuff like that. We've seen that kind of stuff on Twitter a lot.
All right, we got to get out of here. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogsty Network.